Okay, so because we're gonna be recording this session, we don't want to have after. So I'm gonna be meeting everybody while I'm still going. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining us again. I think let's just give everybody a bit of some time to come in. I know there's a bit of load shedding in some parts of our areas. So yes, I'm glad that you could join us tonight. So yeah, we're hoping that, you know what, load shedding doesn't also disturb us on our side in terms of connection. But yes, so if everybody can hear me clearly, please just give me a thumbs up as well. I see level, just give me a thumbs up. I don't know why, but then if you can hear me properly, please let me know in the comment section. My name is Gertrude. I'm the Sakhisizwe Property Stokvel Secretary.
Hello.
You can hear me well. Thank you, Pani. So yes, just a bit of Haruv again. So if you could please just mute yourself immediately when you're coming in. I'm just waiting for my colleagues to join me. The session will be recorded. So obviously, if you do become a member after this, you can actually get yourself a copy as well. Also, we will be taking in questions towards the end of the webinar. But then the host today will be Silindile Lesenyani, our chairperson and founder. Thank you, Shante, for letting me know you can hear me properly. Yes, I will be taking questions and comments actually throughout the session. But if you could as well, as we're going, put your questions in the comment section so that we can know as well that you are with us. We will be opening some microphones then there. You can raise your hand if you want to ask a question. You can even show your screen if you want to, not your screen, meant to say your face. We will be doing that. Our host again is Silindile Lesenyani, our chairperson, and most of you obviously you know, correct. She's our celebrity, right? She is the founder, she is the queen of Sakhisizwe Property Stokvel. So while we're just waiting for her, I'll be admitting everybody. And yes, so if you can quickly just go grab yourself a cup of coffee or whatever else you're drinking tonight. I know we just came back from work, most of us. And yes, we're looking forward to sharing all the knowledge that we have. And by the end of tonight, we are hoping as well that you'll be clued up with how Sakhisizwe works, who we are, and yes, and what do we do? Basically, I know we've been hearing a lot about how property Stokvel day in day, but yeah. So just to get it up while we're admitting some of our clients and how people joining us, please let me know in the comment section who you are, where you're joining us from. We do have members throughout the country, even internationally as well. So it'll be great to know who is joining us. I'm actually seeing even some of our members are joining us as well, which is great. I think there is no testimony that you get from a member. I know one member, if they don't understand something, they can quickly check us in the comment section. And yeah, which is great to have them in our session today. So yes, please let me know, where are you from? Where are you joining us from? Oh, Mr. Green. Mr. Green is our member, guys, unless this is another Mr. Green. Mr. Green is our one and only. Yes, if you can quickly mute yourself as you're coming in, if you missed some of the rules that I mentioned. Yeah, you can mute yourself, you can unmute yourself at the group when you're asking questions, but then now you can just unmute yourself as well. The session is recorded, and we just want to make it as clear as possible for those who be watching it on the next as well. So yes, let me know, Dynamic, welcome from Botswana. We actually have other members from Botswana there as well. Great. We actually have in USA. So I'm gonna have time to mute as we're going on, but I'll be reading some of the questions in the comment section. Please do let me know where you're from. Is it Lebu joining from Joburg? Hi Lebu, hi Mikey. We are actually based, I'm based in Pretoria, but then Slindile is based in Midrand. So like we are, oh, so Tete from Pretoria. Hi Mikey. So you see guys, most like in the next coming days, we will be doing these lives one-on-one. We used to do that in the past, and we used to have actually live info sessions. So definitely COVID, unfortunately, did not like us there, but then in future, that will be, yes, we're gonna pick up on that, and we cannot wait to have this kind of webinars one-on-one. But then, like I said, we do have members throughout the country, and people can always make it. So yes. Hi, Shadi, joining us from West Rand. So also, please just let us know, what are you hoping to get out today? I know you know a lot about property Stokvel, especially for the people that as their first time joining today. You know a lot, you've heard a lot about property Stokvel. So do let us know as well in the comment section, what are you hoping to get out of this session? It is a property Stokvel, property investing webinar. So yes, let us know. Probably a lot of you have bigger dreams than what we're gonna offer. You know, we don't want to bring our minds together and yes, talk about all of that. So I'm just quickly gonna mute myself and then just check in with my colleagues if they're coming all right. I know they are currently experiencing some bit of load shedding and connection problems. So let's hope that they will join us in a bit. We're already 8 minutes in. So let me quickly mute myself, but still in the comment section, please do let us know where you're coming from, what I mean, what we like to learn or get out of the session. Thank you. Hi everybody, I'm back. I'm actually seeing Okabelo's text. Okabelo just wants to like get to business and know more info about what's happening in Sekunda. Definitely more info is coming there, Kabelo, and we're gonna talk more about that as well. So yeah, that's actually a great deal that's on the table. It is a main investment opportunity, offering 17%. But yes, let me not say too much about it for now. But yeah, that's what David was talking about. And it's my first time joining. Welcome, Tatlani. Now I'm very interested to know, are you coming from, like, where did you hear about us? Is it from TikTok? I know we're all over nowadays. But then it's
challenge was about
yes, I'm gonna be meeting. So yes, I just got in contact with our colleagues. They are trying to log in. So yes, let's just give them some bit of few minutes. Actually, I'm hoping it's not gonna be a few minutes, but then like a few seconds, hopefully. Yeah, and then we can get the show going. And who else? Ndando, from Escort, hoping better understanding of how everything works. Definitely, you are in the right place. You'll be getting all of that knowledge tonight. Shante joining us from Joburg. Hi, Shante, neighbor. I want to keep my property knowledge updated. That's always a great point. Eh? You have to do that. I think in property, there's always, you can't always say you know everything. We learn as well on our side every day, and just being in this what's this, in the space with everybody as well. So with Sakhisizwe, basically, it's not only just like you invest, I actually get to be around, like, you know, in a network with like-minded people who are in the property space, who are even doing things that we are not doing, and the kind of knowledge in one room as well does actually makes us sometimes to think, you know, and yeah, you can't say, you know what, you have all the knowledge, have to keep that updated and know what's happening and think what's the deal in property, right? What's not even the easier way or the quickest way to get to it, but then to know, or you know what, there are certain opportunities out there, and that are just there, just waiting for us to explore. Okay, I'm actually now joined by my colleague, Uzimaka. So where are you? Dima, if you are in, if you can quickly unmute yourself. Guys, Sakhisizwe Property Stokvel is a team of 3 ladies. Myself, as I mentioned, Gertrude the secretary, Dimaka the treasurer, the money lady. And Sulindile, as I mentioned, if you don't know her, you haven't been watching TV lately. So Sulindile, Slee, thank you for joining us.
Here. Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for everyone who's joined. I think we are ready to rock and roll, Gertrude. I see the introductions have been coming in thick and fast. Everybody introducing themselves and telling us where they're from. I see we're already getting some hands being put up where people have got questions that they well, Gertrude.
Yes, we can hear you properly and can see you clearly as well.
Now everybody who was meant to be here is here, so we can definitely get started. I think Gertrude has already introduced herself. So by way of introduction, my name is Lindile Lisiane, and I am the chairperson of the Stokvel. I am also, you know, a property coach and mentor, as well as an investor. So I invest with and alongside the Stokvel, and I also invest in my own capacity, and I also, you know, assist aspiring as well as established, you know, property investors to realize their property investment goals. I live here in Johannesburg in Midrand, and I am married and I have 3 wonderful children. So I think that's about me. Unfortunately, I missed the session with some of the introductions, but I see Uzama saying she's joining from Cosmos City, would like to know about property and how to acquire property using limited or no capital. Joining from Unwabisa, joining from PE, aka Kabeja, heard from Facebook, and she's excited to be here. And Nule was saying, I want to hear about your previous successes and upcoming opportunities. Rands and cents, numbers. Lebu, you are a real investors, because as investors, we always want to know the numbers, you know, never mind that the property is pretty or that it's what, or it's what. If it's not gonna make you money, then it's not an investment and it's not an asset. It is definitely a liability, because it is gonna take money out of your pocket. So I'm glad that, you know, we are amongst like-minded individuals, and I think that is one of the big benefits of investing or joining Sakhisizwe, is that seems to be one of the things that we definitely drill down on. Is we definitely make sure that any opportunity we seek, we understand the numbers, we understand what are the income, we understand what are the expenses, how can we make the property sweat, how can we get even more out, how can we squeeze blood out of a rock, because that is what we do. We don't buy rocks, I'm just saying, but I'm just saying that we definitely want to make sure that whatever assets we acquire are going to make money from us, and we understand exactly how that's that's going to work out. So definitely you are in the right place if those are the kind of expectations that you've got, and we are definitely going to cover all of that. All right, perfect. So I'm just bringing up the presentation. Selina, you've got a question. So if you wouldn't mind just dropping it on the chat line, please, so that we can have a look at what your question is. Just because of time constraints, we unfortunately are not going to be able to actually, you know, ask the questions live, but you're more than welcome to type the question in, and then if we've got time at the end and you are happy to stick around for longer with us, then we can definitely take some live questions at the end. We are not shutting anyone out. We are just conscious of time. So that is why we're saying, can we please either type your question before you forget, or else if you want to speak to us, maybe just rather wait until the end. So I'm not sure why my screen is not opening up. My sharing screen is not working. Okay, let's try again. Let's see. There we go. I must just be patient. It's coming. All right, and I think definitely tonight we will be covering some of those questions, and I'm glad that you guys are already setting the scene in terms of what your expectations your expectations around what have been our successes, and in as much as we're sharing our successes, also sharing our challenges. What has been, one of the leaders and forefronts in the property investing market in the Stokvel environment. We really, are breaking barriers in terms of how Stokvels invest and how Stokvels work, and so we are really the textbook case, and we get invited into so many spaces where people are doing research to understand how Stokvels work and how they can work and how we're doing things differently, so that, we can understand this model more and apply it even in other instances. So, definitely there's been lots of learning on our side and growing as a Stokvel. So I don't know if you guys can see my screen. Just let me know if you can see my screen, because I do have the presentation up now. Okay, I see there's a comment.
It's still coming up, please.
While I wait for comment. Okay, cool. Oh, Selina just saying, okay. Yes, Selina, please feel free to just write down your question so that you don't forget it. But if you want to ask it live as well, that's perfectly fine, but only at the end of the presentation. It's showing as if it's showing on my side. We can't see your screen. What are you guys seeing? Because on my side, it's showing as sharing.
Still loading.
Okay,
it's
perfect.
Still loading.
Yeah, it's still loading.
I think in the interest of time, I'm going to just Pambili. It is Africa Day. After all, happy Africa Day, everybody. I hope you guys have had an awesome day, and that, really our problems as Africans can only be solved using African problems. And one of the problems that we've got is, excess or inequality as it relates to wealth, in as much as Africa is rich in terms of land and natural resources, we still have the highest inequality in the world. We still have a lot of poverty. So it's about how do we make sure that we are still able to create wealth. And one of the ways this, is through collectively investing together, because if we were to tackle this individually, this monster is just way too big, and that's why they say if you want to go far, you need to go with others. And that is why I will be sharing later on, how through investing as a group, there's so many opportunities that are opening up to us that would not be, accessible to individuals, right? So this is really, an African concept of Ubuntu. It's an African concept of, doing things together. We are a very much collective cultural society as Africans, unlike, for example, the Western side where it's all about me, 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 me. What can I do? As Africans, you rise as you lift others as you rise. So that is really the way that is within our DNA as Africans. So yeah, happy Africa Day, everybody. I hope you guys have had an awesome day. Okay, cool. So can you guys see my screen now? Otherwise it's taking forever to load if it's still not up.
We can see it.
Now, please.
It's up now. Awesome. Okay, cool. All right, so then I think I've already discussed the agenda briefly, and it is just to address some of the questions that you guys had, around the benefits of property investing, the ways that you can make money from investing in property, why a property stokvel. I think I've already alluded to it based on the whole concept of, collectively investing together. And I'll tell you more about Sakhisizwe Property Stokvel specifically, the various ways that we invest in property, which some people, they've got preconceived ideas of what a stokvel should be and and how we should invest. And so, we're challenging all the norms and we're doing things in a different way. And then you're also going to be talking about how to work with Sakhisizwe Property Stokvel. Gertrude, is this recording?
Yes, it
okay.
is.
Cool, perfect. Because I know some people, I've just been hit with load shedding. That's why I had to run around and find an alternative venue to host tonight's webinar. So I know a lot of people would have wanted to join and maybe they are unable to because of load shedding. So we need to just make sure that we cater for them by sending out the recording. Okay, perfect. All right. So just taking a step back then in terms of why would you want to invest in property, right? So property is a tangible asset. Wherever you are right now, you are in a property, right? Whether it's a hotel, it's your own house, it's your mother's house, it's a back room, it's a shack, it's a whatever it is, it's tangible. You can see it, you can touch it. You can decide to change something about it. If you've got a house, you can extend it. If you've got you can change it and make it into an office if you want. There's so many things that you can do with property that, because it's tangible, it's something that you can feel, see, and touch, which trumps other asset classes that you would literally, it's digital money. You see a statement, you see something on a line, and you don't really know. And then next thing, some scandal breaks that you've got no control over, and next thing your investments start to tank. Which with property, those kinds of things don't happen overnight. Even if property does go down in value, it normally takes a couple of years for that to take place. And house prices have been rising over for the longest time possible. So it is just one of those things where you see your money is and you can see your value grow over time. And it can be passed on to your children and family as an inheritance. It's just one of those things that, you can live in it during your lifetime. So can your children, so can your grandchildren. And if it's an investment property, you can make sure that, your children are able to benefit from that rental income way long after you have, unfortunately, departed. And I think I've mentioned the fact that it appreciates in value. And we've got two types of appreciation. We've got what we call passive appreciation, where the value just grows over time and you don't need to do anything. It just grows because, as inflation goes up and whatever. And we've got what we call active appreciation or forced appreciation, where you are actually doing something to grow the value of the property, whether you're extending it or you're renovating it or you're rezoning, but you're doing something physically to the property so that you force the value to increase, which it can do so within a relatively short space of time. Like you can take an old ugly property, change the kitchen, change the bathroom, change the tiles, and by doing that you immediately increase the value of the price. Or you can just leave the property and it can grow on its own. The property allows you to earn multiple streams of income. There's various ways that you can earn multiple streams of income through the property. I'll make an example, right? You may find that you've got a property, but then you've also got a garage. So the garage you can rent out to my friend who then runs his tuck shop. In the main house, you can have other tenants, or you can live in it, or you can even provide other services. I'll make an example. I've got a short-term letting, or what we call an Airbnb unit. Sometimes you have international visitors, they're coming, they want to be picked up at the airport. So now you're charging them shuttle services. Sometimes they want you to recommend things, or they want other services, and you arrange those things for them and you charge them a fee. So there's so many things that you can do once you've got a property that you can say, how can I make more money from it? You can, rent it out to different people for different things over, you know what I'm saying? So there's just so many ways, depending on your creativity, that you can use to earn multiple streams of income from the very same property. Right. So there's no limits to earning potential with property. there is no limit to how much money you can earn from property. No one can tell you that, for example, Lebu, you can only have 1 or 2 properties, or you can only earn an income from 1 or 2 properties. There is no limit. It is limitless, the amount of money you can earn from property. Unlike a salary. With a salary, you can have 1 job, maybe 2, 3 at an absolute stretch if you're working 24 hours flat, which is not good for you. But with property, you can have 1, then 2, then 3, then 10, then 20, then 100. No one can tell you how many properties you can have or not have. There is literally no cap to how much money you can make from property, which is different to, for example, the income that you earn from your job. It's capped. And I think it being Africa Day again as well, we then raise issues around inequalities, wealth inequalities. We know that, as Africans, we are earning less than, people of other races. So whereas with property, if the rental income of that area, if a 1-bedroom flat is 5,000, it's 5,000. Whether you are 70 or you are 20 and you own that property, whether you are black, white, green, or blue, it doesn't matter. That is the going rate. It does not discriminate in terms of that. Whereas the salary, there's so many factors that can go into how much money you've got. Especially as ladies, you may find that, we've got double jeopardy in a way, in that we are black, we are female, we are going to always earn less than some of our counterparts. So with property, it doesn't discriminate, it doesn't know your race, it doesn't care, actually, So property allows you to earn a passive income. So I'll get more into what passive income is and how it can work for you. So that's what we're gonna then talk about in the next slide. So tell me if this is making sense so far, guys, if you guys are following. Let me see some comments so far. I like, because otherwise, like, I'm reading it and it's already like no longer valid. Okay, so Kabelo is asking, what due diligence has been done on the Secunda development? How secure are your funds in this development in case a developer absconds or is not able to pay back the funds back? And is a 17% return included in explicit terms in the funding contract? Okay, we're gonna cover that one just now, Kabelo. And then Unosipo is saying, greetings, Mposh from Cape Town. Would like to know what criteria does the bank use to allow me to buy my second investment property through my newly registered company? Okay, so Unosipo, as a Stokvel, we don't buy properties for individual members. We buy for a group. If you are looking for specific investment-related advice, so speak to me, and then I can advise you accordingly. But yeah, so this is specifically for the Stokvel where we are buying properties as a group. So if you're looking for individual property advice, I would recommend that you book a session with me and we can work through that. So Green is asking, while a car depreciates in value, but a property will appreciate in value, absolutely. We know that you lose up to 30% of the value of your car the minute you drive it off the show, the dealership floor. And then, is it possible to join your Stokvel as a social club? Yes, to me, you can, definitely. So that is not a problem. Okay, cool. All right, then let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so what are the ways of making money, right? So most of us know active income. So active income is the income that we get from having jobs. You know that I need to wake up in the morning, whether I'm working from home or I'm working in the office, but I need to physically show up to make money. So whether I'm working as a clerk somewhere, I'm a receptionist, or I'm an accountant, a lawyer, an engineer, whatever it is, I need to physically show up and do the job. If I'm not going to work, you need to book leave so that your boss knows that you are not going to be working. So that is why you essentially are exchanging time for money. You are saying, I will come and I will dedicate 8 hours of my time, or for some of you unfortunate souls who need to even put in longer hours than that, and you'll say, in exchange for that, you will then give me money at the end of the month. You can also say you've got a business. For example, you've got a laundromat, or you are selling tomatoes, or you are self-employed, whatever it is that you're doing. But if you do not open your business, it means you do not get paid. So this is essentially means that you're exchanging time for money. If you don't show up, you don't earn money, even if whether you're self-employed or you've got a job or you've got any other business that requires you to physically show up. And by physically showing up, even if you're running an online business, if you're not selling any products, you're not making any money, right? So there's a limit to your earning potential with active income. As I've mentioned, you can maybe have 1 or 2 jobs if you're lucky in this economy, but it's physically impossible for you to work for 24 hours. So it means that, even if you can earn a lot of money, even if you can make 1,000 Rand an hour, your cap is still 24,000 Rand in a day, because those are the number of hours that are in a day. Whereas with passive income, you can make any amount that you decide that you want to earn, and you can earn this from various income streams. Right? So the example of an active income is a job, like I was saying earlier. So with passive income, it means that you don't exchange time for money. So you could literally be lying on a beach somewhere for 6 months, for a year if you want. You could be in a coma, in a hospital, passed out for a year, no work. You could be literally anywhere you want, and that money could still be coming in. It means that you don't have to physically show up to earn the money. It will come anyway, right? You don't have to go and physically open a shop to earn the money. You don't have to physically go to work and deal with your boss. You don't have to do any of those things, and you're still able to earn passive income, right? So there's no limit to earning potential, to earning in passive income, because you could even earn it from various streams. You could, for example, invest in shares and unit trusts and ETFs and property and other businesses or whatever that you're not physically working in. And all of that could be giving you passive income, because somebody else does the work and then you then get paid, right? So this kind of money can outlive you. You can literally hand over these kinds of income streams to your children. Imagine if now you are able to generate an income, whether it's 1,000 Rand or 2,000 Rand or 10,000 Rand a month, right? As it stands right now. Not only are you able to earn that income now while you're still alive, but when you pass on, your children continue earning that money. But as we know, with salaries, the minute you die, they send your family flowers, and they put in a vacancy for you, and life goes on, and now that salary comes to a stop. Whereas with passive income, for an example, if you've invested in property or you've bought a property, that whoever is just talking, Gertrude, please can you assist with muting? So definitely that income can continue and outlive you in your life, right? So property is one of those things that gives passive income, right? See, there's a comment there. Let me just have a look. So Balisa is a first timer here. Please also touch on the SARS implication on all the return I make on property investment. Will it raise my income bracket, or they wouldn't be able to see? She does a laughing emoji. Okay, all right. Guys, unfortunately, as they say, death and tax is one of those things that we cannot get away from. One way or another, you're going to have to pay taxes, but it's about just having the right knowledge so that you don't pay unnecessarily high taxes. So it's about just being a responsible citizen and paying tax, because unfortunately we do have to pay it, but we can, make sure that we don't pay unnecessarily high taxes due to ignorance of the tax laws in the country. Okay. So I think we've spoken about passive income and active income. So let me know in the comments, which one do you prefer between the two? What do you guys prefer between the two? Do you think you prefer more active income or passive income?
Why not both? Because
I like that. I can't see who's talking, but I like that. I like it a lot, actually. But because essentially, when we are starting out, right, we use our active income, or the salaries that we earn from our jobs and businesses, whatever else we're doing, and we use it as a seed. So we take the money that we are earning from our jobs and our businesses, we use it as a seed so that we then grow our passive income. So the idea is that the money that you're earning from your job, let's say you're taking 5, 10, 15, 20% of it, and you're using it to acquire assets. And if you're disciplined and committed, it can get to a point whereby your active income equals your passive income. And it's at that point that you can then decide, do I still want to work or don't I want to work? Because now I can, if I work because, you know, you like your job, it's a calling, you're a doctor, you're a medical, whatever, you know, you're whatever it is that your job is, you're passionate about it. But, you know, there's this peace of mind that comes with working because you want to, not because you have to, not because if you don't work, you won't have a place to stay, your children will starve. So you go to work with a certain smugness on your face when you know that you don't need it. You know, and I think this is what some of the people have who then crash jobs and they push entrepreneurship and they say it's a journey of being broke, or what's the other one? It's the bribe they pay you to forget your dreams. And I always say, like, what nonsense is that? Because your salary is what is feeding your family and taking care of you. So if you're very strategic and intentional, you can use that salary, you take that money, you invest it smartly, and it can grow you and can grow your wealth, you know, unlike just taking your income and, you know, you spend it all. So I like that comment. Unfortunately, I couldn't see who it came from because I've got the sharing screen on, but definitely I think there's no reason why you cannot earn both. But the beauty about passive income is it's got additional freedoms in that you then choose whether you want to work or not. You choose how you want to work. You can, out of your job, you can say, you know what, I'm just gonna work half days now. Like, I'm good. You speak to your boss and say, can I work half days now? You know, because you know the other income is gonna come from your salary. You can decide, I don't wanna work Fridays anymore. I don't wanna work Mondays anymore. And you negotiate with your boss, say, please reduce my salary by 20% so I don't have to come to work on Mondays. I mean, what freedom is that? That's what they talk about when they talk about financial freedom. And I think sometimes people misconstrue what financial freedom is. Financial freedom, it's just basically having the freedom to decide on certain things, having the freedom to work because you want to, not because you have to. So it all starts by using your salary as the seed, or the income that you've got from whatever business that you've got as a seed to acquire assets that are going to give you passive income. Right. So what are the benefits of investing in property? It's a great investment option, guys. It earns you passive income. It's got growth potential. It's stable, like I said. You won't have a Bitcoin situation where you wake up, your cryptocurrency portfolio has gone down by 30% overnight. Those kinds of things are not going to happen. It's got predictability. You know what the rentals are in the area. You know what the property prices are in the area. They're not going to dramatically change overnight or in a week or in a month, you know. So it's fairly stable and predictable. In fact, it's boring. But when you're investing, boring is good, you know. So, and it increases in value, which we've already spoken about. Okay, so let me know in the comments if there's anything that I've left out, you know, in terms of why, you know, why you are here and why you think property is a good investment, you know. So let me know in the chat, guys. I think we're also on Facebook, so let me check if there's any Facebook comments so that I'm not leaving anyone out. They think I'm just attending to the Zoom guys only. Okay, so let's see. So let me know if you guys have got any reasons why you think property is a good investment. Okay, while I open up the comments. Any reasons why you think property? Okay, let me just move this. All right, cool. All right, so I think it's I've got some comments on Facebook. Let's see. Okay, cool. So Facebook are also saying both, so they are definitely agreeing. And yeah, okay. And Makunyan is saying that's an awesome place to be. 100%. It's an absolutely awesome place to be when you work because you want to, not because you have to. Okay, so how then do you make money from property? Essentially, there's 3 ways to make money in property, right? So the one is through rental income. So rental income in that, you know, you get a place and you put tenants in, and your tenants pay you a fixed amount per month, or per day, or per hour in some places. You know, and you make your decision with which kinds of places are renting hour, but they are there. You know, and you take your cost from it, and then you claim the remaining portion as profits. So you'll know that you're making X amount of money, which is coming in as rental income, and then you're minusing your expenses. It could be your home loan, your rates, your levies, electricity, whatever it is that you've got as an expense. And then the balance is then your rental income profits. That's one of the ways that you make money. So when you're buying a property, you need to understand how much money am I going to make from it? what are my expenses and how am I going to make a profit? A lot of people just go blindly into buying property. They think, as long as it's property, you can never go wrong. And they mess this up because they don't understand what income are they going to make and what are their expenses, right? And then the next thing that you can, how else we can make profit is through future resale, right? So I've mentioned in the previous slide that property values grow over time. And so either you just let it grow gradually without you having to do anything. You bought a property 10 years ago, you've left it as is. It's now 10 years later, you can definitely sell and make a profit between what you paid for it 10 years ago versus what it is worth now. You know, let's say, for example, you bought it in 2012 and you've done nothing. It's exactly as it was when you bought it. Just through passive appreciation, your property is definitely going to be worth more in 2022 than what it was in 2012. You can also force appreciation in that you can extend your house or you can renovate it or rehab it. So you don't have to wait for 10 years to see value. You can see value almost immediately after you've implemented some changes. So when you then sell your property, you then make a profit between how much you bought it for and obviously what you've spent on it. So then, what you sell it for and what you've spent on it, or what is left on your home loan, right? So then the difference between the two is how you then realize a profit. So you realize a profit when you sell it, right? Or you could look at a mix of both. So you could buy a property, be renting it out over the past 10 years. So you've been making rental income the whole time. After 10 years, you decide, I'm calling it quits. I'm taking my money now. So you then make a profit upon disposal when you are selling your property. So these are the three ways that you can make money through property. Okay. Any questions or comments on this before we continue? You guys good? Okay, no questions. Awesome. I like it when people, I don't know if I get confused when people don't ask questions because I don't know if they're following or if I've confused them like to the point of no return. Okay, cool. So this is what we do then through our Sakhisizwe Owners Club. So our Sakhisizwe Owners Club, this is where we collectively contribute and we then buy the property. And we find a way of adding value. So either doing something to make it, be more valuable or buying it at a good price or whatever, but we need to find a way of adding value to the property. So we don't just buy a property and just take it as is and then we're like, yeah, then, so we want to add value so that there's that immediate growth in the asset immediately. So we don't have to just passively fold our arms and hope for the best after 10 years. So we want to do something to add value, right? And we want to place tenants in the properties for rental income. So that is the strategy that is how we invest in the Sakhisizwe Owners Club. So the members co-own these properties and then they share obviously in the income from the properties that are bought and owned by them or invested in by the Owners Club. All right, so that is our first investment option. We've got the Owners Club where we are collectively buying the property. So we will all co-own a particular property. So we're not going to go and buy a property for individual people. We will buy one property and we are all going to collectively co-own that particular property. Right, so I'm just going to give you through examples of the deals that the Sakhisizwe Owners Club does. For an example, this one here is a property that we purchased last year in Potchefstroom. So we bought this property as a normal residential house. It's a 3-bedroom house, 3-bed, 2-bath, double garage. And we then did some construction. The purchase price was R1 million. And so what we then did is we got it accredited with a university, meaning that it can now house students from the local university. So and obviously in order to do that, we had to renovate the property, convert the garages into rooms and all of that, and acquire furniture and make sure that it was suitable to be used as a student accommodation. So this is what I mean when we say we add value. We take a property which was a normal family house and we convert it into a student accommodation, right? So at the moment, the annual income from this particular property is that we've got 16 students in there at 33,000 students, at 33,000 rand, sorry, per student, which means that our gross income from this particular property is 528,000 rand, So So this is what we've basically gone from a property with previously it was renting for about 7,000 rand a month to like a normal family, which obviously would not be anywhere near what we are able to fetch once we had actually converted it into a student accommodation. So just by way of an example, if we just bought this property and rented it out as a normal house at 7,000 rand a month, we would have made 84,000 rand in a year. Now we are able to make 528,000 rand a year. So this property, fully purchased, we've owned it since last year. It's stable, it's got tenants, it's running, it's operational. So this is a property that we've got that we're using as a student accommodation. So we are constantly looking for new opportunities to acquire more property so that we can grow our portfolio, right? So I'm going to take you through 2 deals that we are busy with now, that we are in the process of actually acquiring, right? Right. So the first one is an apartment that we are buying in Waterfall, which we want to use as a short-term letting, meaning that we're looking at leisure travelers, business travelers that are in the Joburg area for a day, a week, a month, or whatever, and they need temporary accommodation. So we are going to then be placing them at this particular apartment, which we have secured for 1.4 million, and we have secured via a 25% deposit. And then we need to pay the balance upon completion, which is then going to be in 2023. Okay, that's a typo, it's not 10,000 rand a month. So the average rate per night is between 1,000 and 1,500 rand a night. And so this is why that we are actually going to be acquiring this particular property. We still need to raise 75% to settle the balance of the purchase price, but that only has to be paid in June of 2023 when the property is completed. So we will be continuing to save money between now and then to contribute towards settling the balance so that when it's complete, we've got the money. So what we do is that we contribute until we have enough money to acquire a property. Like, for example, last year we had to save up until we had enough money to buy that property as student accommodation, and then to put on the construction and the furniture and all of that. So yeah, so this is the one opportunity that we've got for our owners club. And then the second one is an opportunity to basically co-own an office estate in Tiger Valley. So this was part of a BE, actually a triple BE transaction. So we get to co-own this particular office estate. It's in Tiger Valley. And so we get to co-own it we'll own a 40% stake in this particular office park. So this office park was acquired at the value is actually 50 million rand, but we got a discount of 22.5% because of BEE. So then the purchase price was actually less than the 50 million rand because we got a discount as part of a BEE deal. So that's the other thing about being part of the Sakhisizwe investors, is that we are a broad-based economic empowerment group. And so therefore we can now tap into opportunities such as these, right? So we require a 1.5 million rand, which is just the deposit that is required to secure this. And then we can get that 40% ownership. So these are the offices that are already running, they're fully let. And they've got 4-year leases in place. So, you know, with like blue chip companies like, for some of them, you know, there are subsidiaries of like listed entities and all of that. So it really is good tenants that are in that particular office block. So we've already raised 75% of this. So we just need 25% of the balance of the money. Okay, so that's where we at with that one. Okay, so I think most of us know this particular way, in a way, this particular way of investing in property, in that, you know, you acquire property, you put in tenants, you know, you collect the rent, you pay your expenses, you pay your investor, you get a profit and whatever. So most of us know that particular way, but it's not the only way to invest in property. And this is a little known fact for most people. In that they only know that, you know, you need to buy a property and own a property in order to make money for it. But not so, guys. There are many ways that you can invest in property, even if you don't own it. right? So this is what our Funders Club does. So we invest in properties that we don't own. So the Sakhisizwe Funders Club makes money from properties that we do not own, where we fund other property investors or other developers, right, that need funding for various projects, right? So we then say, we're a Stokvel, we're sitting on money, you need money, we can borrow it to you, you then pay to us. Excuse me, I think there was an earlier question, I can't remember from who spoke about the seconded deal. I'm going to speak more about that. And they were asking questions about due diligence and security and all of that. Okay, cool. So I'll answer that question. So yeah, so this is basically how we also invest in property. So this is by making money from properties we do not own, and intentionally so, right? So, so when you join the Funders Club, you know that you are joining the club where we actually don't own the properties, but we're merely providing funding. So the Sakhisizwe Funders Club has funded over 16 million rand. So remember, Sakhisizwe started in 2019. So from 2019 till now, we have raised or funded over 16 million rand of property transactions, and where we have earned interest of between 10 to 20% per annum per transaction. And these have varied. Hey, we've done investors where maybe they needed 200,000 to others that have needed 3 million rand, as an example. So we've done various transaction sizes, and which have provided various returns over the past 3 years that we have been operational. Okay, so what are some of the transactions that the Funders Club has funded? We have funded flips. So flips are when you buy a property with the intention of selling it fairly quickly. So you buy a property, you renovate it, and then you want to put it back on the market so you can get your profits. So you don't intend on renting it out. So we funded investors that have bought properties. Say, for example, they get the funding from the bank, the home loan, but they have a shortfall. They need money for the renovation. And so we jump on board and we provide them with the money to do the flip, because we know that when they sell that property, they're going to make a profit, then they'll pay us back from the profits on the flip. We've funded developments, we've funded renovation projects, we've funded Airbnb, we've funded student accommodation, as well as commercial buildings. So where there's an opportunity that makes sense and the investor is looking for funding, and to the person on the chat, let me just check who it was who asked around due diligence. We definitely undertake due diligence, and we have our legal team that advises us on transactions, especially complex ones. So we make sure that we look at the documentation, we look at who the person is that we're funding. We don't just fund anyone, very selective on who we are financing. We look at the contracts, we look at the security or the surety that says, okay, how are you going to pay us, and what will happen if you don't pay us? So those things are definitely in place. So I see I haven't been seeing, but there's actually been questions that have been coming through. So let me just quickly attend to them. Okay, so I see everybody was saying that they preferred passive income or both. I think we are all in agreement that that is the way to go, right? In terms of looking at both. Because the more the merrier, right? So Ule was saying we need to actively build foundation for passive income. Absolutely, 100%. Udimakazo saying both to keep me healthy and wealthy, 100%. We've got Dunamis Wellness saying, kindly share on how I can be part of your property. So I'm based in Botswana. Please can you drop us an email so that we can share with you how you can join if you are outside of the country, okay, especially in Botswana. Okay, and then how much do I need to join the style? We're going to cover that. And Nabi saying in the first screen, I think it said 10K to start. Yes, correct, Nabisa, it is 10K. Mr. Green saying passive income can provide a carefree retirement. Yes, Mr. Green, I know you will agree because you are one of our members and you know this. Okay. Udimakato saying, how much do I need to join the property? Okay, yeah, we'll cover that just now, Udimakato. And then Pagem is saying, what kind of property investments? I'm not sure what you're relating to, because I've already covered the types of properties that we invest in both our owners club as well as our funders club. So maybe elaborate more on your question. I'm struggling to get my own property to invest in PE. I think mainly because lucrative deals are still scarce. So I thought, let me see if this could be something I can be doing so long. So okay, absolutely, Nabisa. And I mean, we share so much information as well as opportunities that are not even available to the public. I think our members will tell you that, we really, being part of the Sakhisizwe network goes beyond just you putting your money and passively investing, because also we've got now very well established relationships within the industry. So there's a whole host of benefits that our members are able to get from discounts from suppliers. I'll get to that in a bit, but yeah, so definitely. And also just and as I saw, you guys have seen that the knowledge that I'm sharing with you guys here, these are the kind of things that we go into a lot of detail, in our members meetings, and that we discuss when the opportunities come up and all of that. Okay. And then Ukabelo is saying investing in property means you're building a legacy for yourself. Absolutely. And for your and future generations in your loins. I'll take it you're a man, Kabelo, if you talk about children in your loins. Yes, absolutely. You must think for them. Yeah, you can't just bring children and then you make them suffer. Okay, how do you become a member of the club? We'll cover that, Muratu. And then Lebu saying 2,750 per student per month. Correct. But they pay over 10 months, so you can average it out. So they pay in 10 months, so which then is about 3,300, over 10 months. But if you average it out over 12 months, it's 2,750, but they paid in 10 months. Okay. And then, have you experienced disagreement in buying collectively with others don't agree with the area of value, and how did you deal with such? Don't you remember? Is it another? It's a popular name and surname. Okay, no, we've never experienced it, and I think I don't know. Hey guys, like the members are just like different breed. There's no disagreements. we haven't had disagreements, honestly, guys. I think because we are so transparent, we lay down what is the opportunity. What should we do? For an example, when we had a choice between doing the waterfall apartment or doing the office park, they said, "Hey guys, let's just do both." We're like, "But we don't have the money." Like, don't worry, we'll raise the money. So there hasn't been like major disagreements, but you can never obviously agree on everything 100%. But I think even in the way that even if we disagree, but we agree collectively with, okay, guys, this is how we should do things, but we lay all the facts on the table. And I think some of the members that I see are here on the call. You guys can talk about, how we actually resolve some of the challenges that we have. We lay out the facts on the table, and we all collectively come to a decision, right? So we don't just do what we want. We're always consulting with the members and agreeing on the way forward. Okay, can you please share how much one can make with a joining fee of 10,000? How often are the proceeds paid out? Okay, to me, this depends on which club you are joining. If you're joining our funders club, I'm gonna tell you now about the opportunity that we've got at the moment where you can invest. If you're joining our owners club, I'm also gonna tell you more about that now, right? So we've got sort of a lot of questions today. Lebu is asking, how many projects are you involved in? How many properties has the club acquired? How has COVID impacted the office rental space in the club's experience? Okay, I think I've mentioned, Lebu, that we've got the one okay, I think I haven't gotten to it. The 1 year funders club is to invest in a development in Secunda, right? So that's the one at the moment that we are fundraising. Our owners club, we're busy acquiring those two properties, right? We're investing in those two properties. The one is the apartment for short-term letting. The other one is the office park. How has COVID impacted the office space rental in the club's experience? Depending on where you are in the country, yes, the office space has been heavily hit by COVID, with people having to work from home, but we are seeing a gradual return in people gradually coming back to offices. As you know, COVID, we're now basically out of lockdown officially, so we're now seeing an uptick in terms of people returning to offices. I think I can get into a lot of detail about why that particular opportunity, we jumped on it. But if you become a member, I will share with you all the research that we've done or everything that we've got around that, I will share it to you. It's just a bit confidential, so I can't go into a lot of detail, especially on a public platform like this. But if you become a member and you request this information, I will gladly share it with you. Okay, Lebu. So we'll share more about the information and how we arrived at the decision to actually take part in that particular opportunity. And then kindly share your secrets in sustaining the stokvel. Good question, Tumi, good question. It's through God's grace. It's through God's grace. It is having the right people around you. I think we've got an awesome team. I think we've got an awesome partners that we work with. We've got an awesome support structure that we've got from our legal team, our accounting team, our advisors, people that we work with. They just kick ass people. And we are lucky to have everyone that we've got in the team. And I think we do this out of passion and love more than anything. So, we do this as a side hustle. So myself, Dima, and Gertrude, we do this as a side hustle. We've got full-time jobs. So this is really a passion project. It is something that we do because we really care about getting people to invest in property. And so, when you're doing something because you're doing it out of love and you're doing it out of passion, you don't tire. You give it your all. And I think that has really been the secret to the success, in that, just surrounding yourself with the right people and having the right reasons and having the heart for it. Because in Sakhisizwe, we're well over 300 members. Somebody asked about disagreements, and I couldn't even think of one time that I've ever had a disagreement with any of the members or even our team or anyone. We are just a harmonious bunch. So if you are a person who's just full of drama, so yeah, I think we resolve any disagreements amicably. Hey guys, come and join and see how nice it is to be a member. See how quiet our WhatsApp group is. Hey guys, I'm telling you, that's the secret. Okay. Other question is, please explain how is the ownership per property apportioned, for example. Okay, we'll get to that. Great, and thank you so much. Mutlalo, please here. She is our member. So see why I can't lie, because the members are here. She'll tell you. So she's saying with the due diligence that gets done and the interest rate offered, it's like, what more do we want? No issue with Sakhisizwe, peace and harmony. And of course, ching. Please remember, you guys must follow her. You can ask her, she's not even buying face. DM her on the slide, DM her on the slide, and she will, on the side, and she will tell you. Mr. Green is here, he's a member. He will tell you, so send them private messages, don't, they'll tell you. Okay, how do you often do pay dividends? I'll get to that just now, depending on the club that you've joined. So in our funders club, each deal differs, because an investor or a developer will say, I need money, I'll pay you guys your interest on a monthly basis, then I'll bring the money at the end of the term, like after 12 months, or they will say, you know what, I'll pay you the interest and the dividends after 12 months, or they will say, I want to do this flip, as soon as it's done, I'll pay you guys your money. Or, so it really does depend on the deal, but typically they around about the 12-month basis. So you're either going to be paying out your interest on a monthly basis, or the interest and the capital will be returned to you after 12 months, right? So that's the first option. In our owners club, we agreed with the members that we're going to pay dividends twice a year. The first year that we acquire a property, we don't pay any dividends while we wait for things to settle and we see if there's any nasties that prop up. If there's no nasties and we're comfortable, then from the second year, we'll start paying dividends biannually. So yeah, so depending on the club that you join will determine your dividends. How often you get paid. Okay, cool. I think I did mention that one. Let's move on. Somebody asked about our track record. So our track record is 2019 SA Property Investor of the Year award winners for the innovative category. And so this is, one of our proudest accomplishments, being recognized in the industry as like award-winning investors. But like, we are, the way that we're investing in property is innovative, it's unique, it's new, it's fresh. And we actually won this in our first year of operation. And I think it speaks to the sustainability of why we are still here and why we'll continue to be here, because we've created the structures in place to make sure that we are sustainable in that regard, right? Not only are we winning in terms of the property industry itself, we're also winning in terms of the Stokvel industry as well, having been one of 2021's SA's top performing Stokvels, you know. So we have a growing community of over 300 members. As I said, peace and harmony. Mutlalepule said it, it's not me, she's a member. Peace and harmony is like, must be our slogan. You know, so people think having so many members must be just a nightmare, but you know, with God's grace, we've got such a wonderful group, which know that anything that we do, our hearts are in the right place and we are doing this together. Okay, cool. So the only Stokvel to collaborate with a major bank to provide home loan solutions for our members. So our members have got a VIP line at one of the big banks. Like if you're a member and you've got a home loan, you don't call the call center or whatever. We've got a dedicated banker that takes care of our home loan needs. And not only that, we also get cash back on our home loans. So if you get a home loan, and then not only do you get some of that money back in cash, but the Stokvel as a group, we also get money. So that is one of the other ways that we get money. So not only do we get a dedicated banker that gives us, so whether you're getting a new property, a new development, an existing one, or you're refinancing, or you're doing whatever, you can get a home loan and you can get cash back and you get VIP treatment in that regard, right? And we've been featured in multiple media outlets such as, you know, SABC One, on ENCA a number of times, on almost all the radio platforms, 702 Power FM, Kai FM, Metro, Massive Metro, so many radio stations that I sometimes even forget all of them. Real Estate Investor Magazine being a property magazine, Property Wheel being a property magazine, Sowetan, and many, many, many more. So we get a lot of public, you know, of media exposure, and really because of the way that we invest in property. So if you follow us on any of the socials, just go up and down, you will see some of the articles and features where we have we've been fortunate to be covered by mainstream media. Okay, see there's some comments or questions. So Debatso is saying, I like that. I'm not sure what you like, Debatso, because I've had, it was like 3 minutes ago and I've said a lot. So Murata is saying, how much do you join? So both of the options start from 10,000 Rand. And then once you have joined and become a member, you're more than welcome to top up with any amount of your choice at any time. Okay, cool. So let me see if there are any questions on Facebook so that they're not feeling abandoned because they're not on Zoom. I see there's some questions that are still coming up here as well. So I see the people are tagging each other. I like it, Magunyane. Invite your friends. They must come and hear the good news. Okay, no questions, just tagging. Then one question is around, did I hear properly that the owners club in the first year, you don't get a payout, then twice, then with funders, you get the initial? Yes, correct, Nabisa. Our owners club, we buy the property, we let it settle. If there's money after a year, I mean, that money, it's not like it's going to go anywhere. We're going to distribute it, but we just want to create a buffer in case something nasty happens. Maybe the seller didn't tell us that there's something wrong or whatever. So we can be able to do those changes or whatever. So we said in the first year, we're letting things settle. Then at the end of that, if there's money, we'll distribute it, right? So if you're looking for a short-term investment where you're in, you're out in a relatively shorter time, then maybe you should join the funders club, because our funders club within 12 months, you know, you should be able to get the interest and or the capital that you would have invested, right? And then is how many members are board of directors, and how many members are you aiming to have in your Stokvel? So there are 3 directors, if you call it that, or executives, which is myself, Dima, and Gertrude, and we are also members of the Stokvel. Yeah. So how many members are you aiming to have in your Stokvel? So, you know, our members, it's almost like as long as we feel that we can manage. We're not really having a target to say, once we have 300, we'll stop, because some members, they come and then they exit, then new members come on board, some others go and then they come back. So it really is, it's sort of been sitting around the 300 mark, but we really don't have a reason to say, we were only going to take 300 members. At the moment, we are still comfortable with the number of members that we got. Maybe if we feel that it's becoming too much work for us, as I said, we do have full-time jobs. So if we feel it does become too much, we may decide to stop taking on new members and then grow organically. But at the moment, we are still taking on new members, and we don't yet have a reason to stop taking members at the moment. But if it does get too complicated or too busy for us, then we may just then, cap it. But for now, not yet. Okay. So in terms of the current investment opportunity that's available for the Funders Club, so this is a development that we've established quite a good relationship with since the beginning of the year. Beginning of the year, the developer came to us and said he needed funding to complete this particular project. And so we provided them the funding. They needed 3.1 million Rand. And so we were able to raise 2.1 million, and then we collaborated with another Stokvel that raised another million Rand. So we then provided them with a million Rand so that they were able to complete these units, and then these units are sold to home buyers or people that are actually going to live in them or rent them out or whatever. So they just wanted to complete the process so that the banks can then release the funds. And so somebody was asking the question around the surety and how we're going to get paid. So that is how then we know we'll get paid, because these houses are going to be sold to the home buyers. So when the banks release those money, then that's how we then gonna make sure that we get paid and all of that. So we need to make sure that we understand how that works. So we obviously had to make sure that we looked at the home loans that had been approved and all of those kinds of things. So that's just some of the due diligence that we had to do in the background. So then, so this was now in January where we first collaborated with this particular developer. So since then, they've completed some of the houses in phase 1, and some of the people that have bought these houses have moved in. So now they actually started selling phase 2. They started selling phase 2, and so now they need to construct a tar road. So then they've asked for funding so that we partner with them in building out the tar road. And so we're going to be getting 17% per annum on our money on this particular deal, and this will then be returned to us at the end of the term, which means after 12 months from when we invest, right? So the phase, like I said to you, when we got involved in this process, the homes had already been sold, but no one was living in them. So now the houses are completed and people have moved in. And phase 2 sales started about a week and a half ago, and 90% of them have been sold out. And because of our good relationship with the developer, our members were actually able to acquire or buy some of the houses in phase 2 for a very nice discount. So, so this is just some of the additional perks that you get. So for those who are more investors or who want to live in them for whatever the reason, they have been able to buy phase 2 houses through, us negotiating with the developer to say, hey, dude, we've helped you out here, so what can we get? So as I said, suitable collateral and security is available. We have all of that on contract, right? And the deal obviously was vetted by our attorneys, where we had to go through lots of paperwork and basically write the contract to make sure that we are protected. Okay, see some questions coming up. Let me see, where did I first stop? Okay, Nobis is saying makes sense. Thank you very much for clarifying. Is there a timeline in the owners club? Like if you join, then your funds, then need your funds like in 2 years? Okay, so when you join, right, remember the owners club is for long term, guys. So please, if you're thinking 1 year, 2 years, please rather join the funders club. That's what I ask. That's why I say, we're a peaceful group. We've got very specific investor types. That is why we've got 2 groups. We've got the impatient ones who say, me, I want not really impatient, but that you're a short-term investor. You want your money in a year or 2. You want to know exactly how much you're going to get. So if those are the kind of questions, or those are the things that are running through your mind, please join our funders club. Our funders club is clear. You're in for 12 months, you get your money back, you get your interest, that's it. Nothing further. Our owners club are for people who are here to build. We are here for the long term. We're thinking children and grandchildren here. So if you're already thinking owners club and you're thinking 2 years, then that's not the group for you. Rather join the funders club, because in our funders club, you know that you're going to get your money in a year. If you decide to reinvest the money for the next project, then then at least in a year or 2, you are in, you're out. So there's no timeline. You can join anytime, but like I said, we do need to raise the money, especially to secure the office park that's in the Western Cape. So we still need to raise about 25% of that within a month. So we'll need that by the end of June. Whereas the one for Waterfall, we've got about a year or so to raise that money, not to say we're gonna relax, because we obviously want to buy more. So if we've got more money, then we can do more deals and we can grow the portfolio. Okay. Lungisa is saying, thank you, answer. Okay, I think she's saying answered. And then Uklas is saying, do you directly do home loans applications from individuals? So class, like I was saying, we've got a relationship with one of the big banks. So if you are looking to finance your home in your own regard, whether it's a home to live in or it's a rental property, we've got a very good relationship with one of the big banks. So we'll definitely help you to get a home loan. And not only that, but you'll also get cash back on your home loan, not only for you, but also for the Stokvel as a group. Okay, so that's how we also make more money. Okay. So Cynthia is saying, do you assist or give advice to the members that want to buy their own properties? That's why I'm a coach, you see. If you've got like a quick question, maybe I'll answer you, Cynthia. But if you're gonna come here with scenarios and you want me to do area analysis and run numbers for you and give you like more tailored advice, not really, because you know that is my income as well. That's how I'm a coach. I'm a professional coach. So if you do need specific advice, then maybe you need to book a consultation with me. But if it's just a quick question, I mean, I'm happy to assist. Okay. If you need more tailored, specific advice, or I need to sit with you on a call for an hour, then you're gonna need to book a session with me. Okay. So, did I hear well? Is a joining fee 10 grand only and top up as and when I want? No any other additional charges monthly otherwise, except when I want to top up any amount? That is correct, Dimaka. So I wouldn't even, yeah, so you just pay the 10 grand. That's it. It's not even, we don't take a joining fee. There's no joining fee. Your 10 grand, and then you can top up as and when you want, right? So yeah, so you can top up by any amount that you would like. So like the engagement, so thank you for all your questions. I like people who ask questions. Okay. Have you received any returns yet from the different phases on the project? So you're not specifying which project, because we've done lots of projects, and we've been receiving returns. I think we have paid out lots of money. I'd say probably about 5 million in returns. So we've done a lot. We've paid, a lot of money over the years. So yeah, we have paid from remember, especially in our funders club, because it's like 12 months, and then some of them are paying out monthly, some annually. So there's money. So there's 2 pay cycles that we've got in our funders club. So the one is the 20th and the one is month end. So the 20th is interest payments. The month end is capital payment. So you will find that you're getting money on the 20th and you're getting money on the 30th when your capital becomes due, depending on which investment you invested in. So it will differ. How much to join Finders Club? 10 grand for both, guys. For 10 grand for both. Then Unabi says completely understand, makes sense. Thank you. Katie. I cannot get through. She answered you somewhere else. I am Silindile. Gertrude is our secretary, and Dimakazo is our chairperson. Sorry, treasurer. All right, guys, awesome. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for the engagement. All right, cool. So, guys, let me click readiness check. Are you guys ready to start earning passive income? I think we've spoken a lot today. About how to invest in property, about how we invest in property, how the various options, the pros and cons of both. And yeah, so that's what I want to know from you guys. So in terms of the cutoff, you guys have been asking. So our funders club, would like to secure the money, the investment by the 7th of June. So if you are interested in it, then you definitely can join and contribute by the 7th of June. And then that's going to be for the 17% per annum, which is it will be locked in for 12 months. After 12 months, you'll then get your money back plus the 17%. Our owners club, the reason why we've got like a cutoff is because we want to come up with the balance of the money to secure the office park that is in the Western Cape. So we've got until the end of June. That's when we have to make the payment. Okay. So Oh, so I'm what I'm saying, get to answer the question. Okay, cool. I thought you were confusing us. Okay, cool. So what stops most people from investing, right? So Lebo, you've got a question. Can you please type it on the chat line, or let me finish the presentation, then we can stick around and we can chat. But for now, let me just finish. So the load shedding hit. What happened? Okay, so what stops most people from investing in knowledge? Investing in property, right? So the first thing is lack of knowledge. So people, they want to invest, they don't know where to start, or they feel overwhelmed due to too much information. Back in the day, we didn't have enough information. Now we've got too much information, which is actually bad, because you then don't know what information is relevant to you, and then you end up just being paralyzed and not doing anything. You don't have the right support structure. And I think when someone was asking me how come we've been sustainable, I mentioned the importance of having a support structure. And I think I can't stress that enough. Having the right people, that bring you the right opportunities, that help you vet those opportunities, that help you manage those properties. I mean, we've got a property that's in Porch. I live in Midrand, and Gertrude is in Centurion, Dima is in Joburg South, but we've got a property that is in Potchefstroom, which is 2 hours away. And with student accommodation, for those of you who know, it's a lot of work, So having that support structure is very important. So if you don't have that support structure, it can quickly, crush your investment dreams. So for some of you, maybe that are married or that are in relationships, you're like, my partner's not supportive of my dream, or whatever the case might be. Or you just don't have the capacity, you don't have the time to be looking for opportunities and managing those properties and doing all of that, Or you don't have access to funds, which is a reality. Property is expensive. Before you buy a property, you must pay bond registration fees. You must pay transfer costs, which in some instances, you're looking at 50,000, 60,000. If a bank is going to ask you for a deposit, you need to put in more money in. Interest rates are starting to rise. So all of those things, become a problem in terms of access to funding, which then can stop you from investing. But as a Stokvel, we are lowering these barriers in that we are doing this as a group. We've got the support structure. We've got each other as a group. We've got our various support team that advise and us and all of that. So we've got the right support structure so that you don't have to. We've got access to the funds, the funding, and we know we've got strategic relationships, so we are able to raise money for opportunities that become available, right? So let me see questions. Let me see. We've got, where are your offices? Where are you based, meaning your offices? We don't have offices, Longisa, because if we had offices, it means we're going to have to take money from you and pay offices and pay staff and pay for electricity and water. That is why we work from our homes. We don't have an office. We work from home. And I live in Midrand, Gertrude in Centurion, Dima's in Joburg South. So that's where we are at. But if you do need to meet with us, we can make an arrangement, but we don't have offices, we work from home. Okay, cool. So is there any focus on our Stokvel purchasing property or supporting developments in Gqeberha or Eastern Cape? We don't discriminate, Fundisi, Pastor Ray Bay. We don't discriminate. Where there's an opportunity, we will invest. We have invested in Cape Town, we have invested in KZN, we've invested in Northwestern Potchefstroom, we've invested in Joburg, Pretoria, Mpumalanga. Where there's an opportunity, we will go. So if you know some good deals that we can jump on there by Gqeberha, holla at your gal. Okay, let me know. And then we've got Nabisa saying, could you do a scenario with calculations, possibly investing in either of owners or funders club with maybe 10K? So 10K, it's simple. 10,000 times 17%. 10,000 times 17 divided by 100. That's how much you're going to get plus your money. Simple, straightforward calculation. Okay. But in our funders club, it's a bit complicated because it depends on the property that we invest in, how much money we make, what our expenses are. So that is why that one, it really does depend, right? So it will depend on when you join, which properties we invest in, how they are performing, and. So that one is not so straightforward. Hence I said, if you're the person that you want to know exactly how much am I gonna get when, Funders Club is the one for you, because it's a simple calculation. 10,000 times 17% is 1,700, which means you're going to get 1,700 after 12 months, or 11,700 in total. It's simple, it's straightforward. Okay. Do you have any other deals in the pipeline in the Funders Club besides Secunda development? So we always communicating with our members which deal we are investing in. For an example, this year, in January and February, we did the Secunda deal. In March, we did a deal with Kuro Property Group, which was a property flip. They had a flip in Kensington. So yeah, that was our deal for March, which was offering 12% per annum. Then in April, we did a deal with Leroy Slava. So he was offering us 12% per annum. He was acquiring a block in Boksburg Central. Funds for that. So now we are doing the deal with Secunda deal again. Sorry, Nati. Please just type your question for me on the chat line. And you remember, Nati, I don't know why you're going to ask asking questions on a public platform. But anyway, just type your question on the chat line, please, just for time's sake. Ne? Okay, cool. So it does depend on when you join and which opportunity will be available to us. So, because the thing is with these kinds of deals, they're very time sensitive. So we can't know in December who are going to be financing, you know, so it's almost like we'll at least know at least 6 to 8 weeks ahead of time which deal we're going to be funding next. So Kuto is saying he or she is interested in the Funders Club. Also, so that's one that you must join, Kuto. Yeah. And Gertrude will do. I think maybe Gertrude's having private chats with people because I'm not seeing, I see her mentioned on the return distributions. Does a member get returns? Okay, is it on payment of the required amount do we get shareholder certificate, or is it different documentation? And how soon do I get a confirmation of payment received from your side? Okay, Dimakato. So when you join on Stokvel, which is the app that we use, I'll show you guys how it works. When you make a payment, you will immediately, by the end of the day, you will get a notification of all the payments that have gone through, like of all the members. So you will get notification of all the payments that have gone through. So if you've made a payment, please just check on the app, on the group statement that your payment is reflecting. It should reflect within 2 to 3 days if you use a non-FNB account. If it's FNB, it's normally within the day or two, right? So within the Owners Club, we've got the Sakhisizwe Trust. So if you guys need to know more information about how the Sakhisizwe Trust works, I did a live on Instagram last week, Monday. So please go check it out because I do explain. So go to our Instagram page, Sakhisizwe Property Stokvel. I go into a lot of detail about how we are able to own group property as a group via the Sakhisizwe Trust. So when you become a beneficiary of the Sakhisizwe Trust, you get a beneficiary certificate. So the beneficiary certificate is like your share certificate in the Sakhisizwe Trust, if you think of it that way. So that is the one thing. So there is like an asset in that you can sell it, you can exchange it, you can collateralize it, you can do anything you want with it, much like how you would a normal share certificate. Okay, so you do get a beneficiary certificate from the Sakhisizwe Trust. In terms of our Funders Club, you do get a confirmation, investment confirmation letter that does confirm the specifics around the deal that you've invested in, the returns, when they mature, all of that will be given to you, which obviously you can use for safekeeping. Okay. All right, let's see then. Yeah, okay, I think I've covered the cut-offs. I'm just conscious of time. So in terms of how to join, guys, you need to download the Stokvel app. Or the website. So you can go to www.stokvel.com and create a profile. So once you've created your profile, you then need to join the group that you want. So just search, so click on the more plus and then say join group and then search for Sakhisizwe Property Stokvel. You'll see both groups appearing. Choose the one that you want to join. Once you've requested to join, we will then approve you and you will then get bank details. So Stokvel is a separate company and a separate app to us. So which is nice in that you've almost got like a separate independent person. They are an authorized financial services provider. So all of that. So while your money is on the platform, it is under that license that Stokvel has. And then, so once you've received your confirmation of being accepted via SMS or email, you can then make your payment of 10,000 Rand. So yeah, that is how that works. Okay. So like I said, no joining fee. Sign up is free. You can join. And if you feel like, I don't like these people, you're more than welcome to leave. No penalties, no nothing. And when you join, you immediately become a part of our family, part of our community, and we start building wealth together. So yeah, we really look forward to welcoming you guys on board and having you guys as members of the Sakhisizwe Property Stokvel. Okay, so let me just see if there's any quick questions from the members. So, okay, Muratu is saying, I understand the ROI. So who gets dividends? The people that contribute to get dividends. Yeah. People that contribute to get dividends, the beneficiaries of the trust. So guys, please go and watch that live that I did on Instagram. I explain a lot about how the Sakhisizwe Trust works. Unfortunately, we don't have time to get into a lot of details now here. But if you go to our Instagram page, I explain a lot about how the Sakhisizwe Trust works. Pageme is asking, what is our FSP number? We don't have an FSP number, but like I said, we work with Stokvel, which is an authorized financial services provider. If you go on their website, you will see their FSP number. Go to, I think there's a tab for compliance, and you will see the FSP number there. Okay. So yeah, I think I can stop sharing. For those of you who want to just have a look around Stokvel quickly, maybe in the next 10 minutes and you're not in a rush, you can stick around and I'll show you briefly. And then if you wanted to ask a live question, you can. But I think, I'm just conscious of time, that it's in the evening and we're keeping you from your families. So if you feel that you want to tap out, we are okay. You can exit. For those who want to stick around and just continue chatting with us, we can do so for the next 10 minutes or so, and then we can wrap up. Okay. All right, cool. I wanted to show you guys a bit on Stokvel, so that's what I wanted to do. I see you guys are sticking around, but if you would like to drop off, you can now. I'm done with my presentation. So I'm just showing those who are curious about how Stokvel works and how it looks. Okay. I'm gonna share my screen again. Recording of the session, will you email it? If you've signed up for the webinar, we can share it if you ask nicely. Is it possible to get a copy of the presentation if you ask nicely? We may just give it to you, but ask very nicely. Okay. So Usboni Siwe is asking, can we join or invest as a group? Yes, absolutely. You can just send us an email and we'll tell you how to go about doing that. So the Stokvel, joining on Stokvel is if you're doing it as an individual, but if you want to join as a group, you are more than welcome. Just drop us an email, info@sakhisizwepropertystokvel.co.za, or just DM us on any of our platforms and we will propertystokvel.co.za. And we can definitely let you know the process. In fact, we love working with other Stokvels because now it means that we get access to even bigger opportunities. So, okay, cool. So this is Stokvel, the app. I just wanted to show you something. So for the person who was asking about the FSP numbers, if you come to the Stokvel website and go to face disclosure, you'll find the FSP information down there. So if you then coming in for the first time, you'd obviously need to sign up, and put in your name, your email address, and your all your personal info, not really personal, I mean like your name, your cell phone number and your email address, and you need to choose a PIN. So this is a unique PIN that's to you. So remember, when we pay you on Stokvel as well. So if you use like a PIN or you give it to somebody, someone will access your Stokvel profile, and your money that's sitting in your Stokvel wallet will then be exposed in that person can, have a jolly good time on your tab, right? So please make sure when you select a pin that is not easily guessable and all of that good stuff. Okay, so cool. So I'm already signed up. So you would need to follow that step like I mentioned earlier. So just need to put in OTP. I hope my phone is still on. It's got like 1%. So it's a really secure platform. As you see, I haven't logged on using my laptop in a while, so that's why it's needing an OTP. So it's recognizing that it's a foreign device. So I need to then put in an OTP. So the other nice thing about Stokvel is that, you know, anything that happens on the platform, all the members are notified, money is coming in, money is leaving. There's none of that drama of, you know, Stokvel money is going missing. So you will see, for example, that at the moment, our Funders Club is sitting on 318,000 Rand. So this is accessible. You can see this balance when you, you know, when the minute you get approved, you will see up to a 90-day transaction history. So you will see when we are making people contributing, people getting paid. So where there's minuses, it means that these were monies that we were paying to people. So once you've been accessed, you've got full transparency of what's been going on, and then also going forward, you'll then get notified every time a person pays, or we pay them out, right? So I'm not going to go into the statement because obviously for privacy reasons, I'm not going to put it on a public platform. But when you become a member, you will be able to see a lot of this information. You will see that, for example, our opening balance is 6 million. So this is money that has been on this particular our Funders Club this year. You know, this is our current balance of 3 million Rand, and it shows what the contribution is, 10,000 Rand, blah, 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 right? So if you click on more, it will then give you the option to view the statements. You can view up to 90 days. So if I go to group statement, you know, it will then show me the different option if I want a 30-day, 60-day, or a 90-day statement. So if you just want to see the things we've been telling you, or we're making stories or what, you can go and view the 90-day statement and you'll see exactly what's been going on. I'm not going to go in there now. But when you join, you know, you can see that. And then, like I said, joining is free. So if you join and you decide, I want to leave, you're more than welcome to just exit. Okay. And then we've got the Owners Club. You can see that it's got a healthier balance of like 1.5 million. Again, if you join the club, you'll be able to see the full transparency of what's been happening in that club as well. Right. So how do you then join if you'd like to join? Okay. So you would need to come once you've signed up. You obviously are not going to have all these Stokvels here. So you can see me, I'm involved in a couple of Stokvels, right? So you won't have anything. You'll just have like your name. So you see here, for example, it says my wallet. It's got 3 Rand, a very healthy balance of 3 Rand. So when we pay you into your Stokvel wallet, and then from here you can then withdraw your money. So you can choose whether you want to withdraw it via EFT, where you can preload your bank account, or you can withdraw via e-wallet, or you can even gift it to somebody as an e-wallet. So once you've got money paid out to you, so we don't have to sit with the admin of having to know everybody's bank accounts. We just come on the platform and we pay you money. Your money sits in your wallet. You then go on the banking side and you put in your banking details. And then when you are ready to withdraw your money, you can then withdraw it. But most of our members, they don't withdraw their money. We pay them, they put it back in, they reinvest it so that the money grows over time. So for you who'll be new, you will only have this section here that says wallet. You'll probably have 0, and then you'll need to come here and click on the more button. And then you will then click on join group, right? Then click on join group. And then you will then need to come here and search. If I search, I'm not going to find Sakhisizwe because I'm already a member, right? So it then shows, remember, Stokvel is Stokvel is an app or a company that you know does Stokvel administration for a lot of Stokvels. So I don't know how, I think they've got thousands. So just make sure that, you know, as you can see here, they've got many other Stokvels here. We're just one of the Stokvels that use the platform. So you would need to come here and then just search for Sakhisizwe. Then both clubs will appear, and then you would need to then select the one that you join and then request to join. Okay, that is what I wanted to show you. Okay. I think about 10 minutes that I said we were gonna have for a bit of Q&As up, but I did promise to allow live questions. I'm just gonna kill the recording and I'm gonna kill the live feed, and then we can chat in private. So for those who wanted, okay, I'm gonna stop the recording. Okay, I'm gonna just say my goodbyes, guys, and say thank you for everyone who has joined and been with us for like the past hour and a half. If you do still have live questions that you wanna ask, I'm gonna give another 10 minutes or so, and then we're gonna call it a night, guys. Okay, cool. Yes, I wanna